I know we're going to keep coming back to this, Joy, and we don't want to harp on it in terms of the form, because as Indians, you want all the Indian players to be in form. But if we have to pick a key member of the Mumbai side, for Mumbai, for India, you'd want to see him in form. It's a guy who scored runs for fun in a previous season, and I'm talking Suryakumar Yadav. And that fun seems to have gone out. I'm not sure what it is. Is there anything you've spotted different that he's not scoring runs, like just turning on a tap?
Look, I mean, I remember 2014 again, and I have to go back, and I know Shaun's going to give me that eye roll again. The memories from Kolkata, because we had three cricketers like that, three Indian batsmen who were extremely talented in their own way. Yusuf Pathan, Suryakumar Yadav and Manish Pandey. And for all these three players, the one thing that you see once you saw them in the nets is ability was never going to stop them. They all had supreme abilities. So all that mattered was, and the reason why they didn't do even more than they did in their international careers is because somewhere their own minds were holding them back. When Suryakumar Yadav is completely calm about the way he plays, completely happy about the way he plays, he is an unbelievable player. He's an absolutely unbelievable player. If he does not allow, and look, anyone can get out 3 or 4 times, it happens. If he does not allow that pressure to get to him, there's nothing technically wrong with him now that wasn't. He's always been a player who has all the shots. He's always been a player within all the shots. He also had a very solid defense. I don't think any problem is there. The problem is just here. And if he solves it, if somebody calms him down and says it's just a matter of time. Look at Hardik. He got runs in the past match. And Hardik suddenly will look at that last match and saying that, okay, I helped Mumbai get over the line. And then suddenly, perhaps, you get a couple in the middle of the bat, things will change. So Mumbai would be hoping definitely that it changes. Because look, they've given him the run. Ishan, they've closed down and they've told him to take some rest. But they're still persisting with Surya.
Now, I can tell you one thing, Shaun, well before Joy comes up with his quiz question, I'm going to throw one straight from left field at you. Lovely part of the world, somewhere in the Far East is an exotic place where you might go. It's known for its casinos. Place called Macau. Have you been there?
No.
Okay. The reason why I bring it up is Macau's area code is 853. And if Suryakumar Yadav were to dial his last 4 match inning scores, it's 0853 and he could get to Macau very quickly. So,
I would have been proud of that one. That's the kind of thing I would have done.
So with 0853, is Suryakumar looking over his shoulder going, hang on, Ishan Kishan, loss of form in Indian team dropped. Rahul Chahar, loss of form in Indian team dropped. Could I be next?
Yeah, I don't know. You tend to, just from the outside, you tend to get a feeling for the respect and maybe the thoughts on their abilities in someone like a Rohit Sharma. I would think if he had to have said who of those guys did you like, I think Suryakumar Yadav would have been the one who he had always back. I think he's seen a lot of good things from him. So I think he would always be the one who would get more of a run just to get himself back into the mix. I think it's vitally important that he does get going again. I think if you look at the success of Mumbai, they've got the 2 guys at the top of the order. In the last tournament, if they didn't get going, Suryakumar came in, stepped up and did the job. If there was some impetus missing, maybe Ishan Kishan used to add that. But one of those 4 at the top used to add a foundation, and then you had the hitting power of the guys coming later. So it was like the perfect blueprint. They do need him to come good. As Joy said, I think it is a mental thing. I think technically there's nothing that's changed for him. And as a player, these are curveball speed humps that hit you from out of nowhere. You get picked to play in Sri Lanka, you play nicely in a couple of games, then you get sent to England. You don't maybe get as much cricket as you want, but you're feeling confident. You're in them now, the main Indian side in the mix. And then it's back to reality. You have to go back and get runs. And you come back to the RPL, and all of a sudden it doesn't go according to plan in the first 4. But I think because of what we've seen from him over the tournaments in the not so distant past, I think they'll always run with him. But in saying that, as players, you are human. You do look around and go, whoops, he got left out. If I have one more bad run of things. And that's sort of like a Delhi opposition, a coaching staff. You have a word with your players and say, listen, this guy is under pressure. When he comes to the crease, you make sure you give him absolutely nothing. For those first 10 balls, if I see him get a genuine half volley or a leg stump half volley or a full toss or something, you'll be doing laps the next day, because this is the chance. This is the opportunity for us. He's gone internal. And that's what Joy's saying, is you got, as a coaching staff from the Mumbai side, you've got to make sure that you keep him external, worrying about the game, worrying about how it's playing. Don't get him to become too internal about his own performance. What must he do? Can he get a score? Because that won't be good for the team.